Good morning, Year 3. How are you today? Welcome to your English lesson. Now, the start of the lesson today, we're going to do retrieval again, and we're going to practice those skills that we've been learning over the last couple of days. So, what you're going to need to do is pause the video. You're going to need to read through the questions that are on your worksheet. They are here as well. And you need to use the text that you've had for the last 2 days to help you. So pause the video here and have a go at answering these questions now. Welcome back. How did you get on? We're going to go through the questions now and answer them. So the first question was, describe the relationship between the characters Lachlan, Lila, Tulach, Hamlet. Okay, well, we know that Lachlan was very protective of Lila, and I think actually Lila might be a detective of Tulach, and then Tulach is very protective of Hamlet. They all look after each other, don't they? And they all care about each other. So they're all very kind and caring. What was unusual about the elephant? Can you remember that key thing no one else knew apart from Tulach and Lila? That's right, he could talk. That was amazing. Now, what kind of person do you think that Lila is? What did you have down there? Do you think she could be brave or bold, reckless? I think she's quite a bold character. She knows what she wants and she's determined and she's ready to go out there and get it. She wants to be a firework maker and she doesn't want anything to stop her. So she's brave. She's ready to go out and find what she wants to become that firework maker. What about Tulach though? What do you think he's like? He's quite laid back, isn't he? But he still has a purpose. He's still quite driven. He's saving lots of money, isn't he? And that's why he's using the white elephant as an advertising board, because he wants to get enough money so he can run away. So he's very determined. Why was the elephant master angry with Tulach? Well, he was renting out the white elephant for advertising space, wasn't he? And he was being paid by people to advertise their restaurants or their places or their love for people. Now, how does the elephant feel about that though? He doesn't really like it, does he, very much? It's not really something that he enjoys doing. And then the last question, how do you think Lila feels towards her father? I think, do you remember there's that phrase where they looked at each other like strangers? I think she feels like she doesn't quite know him anymore. She feels that he's hiding something and therefore she doesn't know him completely. Excellent. Let's move on now. So today, so we've been doing retrieval for the last couple of days, but today we're going to learn the skill of summarising. We're going to summarise events in the first chapter. Okay, and we're going to still use that same success criteria of identifying keywords in a question, but this time we need to be thinking carefully about the order of events as they have happened. We're also going to need to decide what is key information and what's just extra information. What's the important parts that we need and what's the bits that it doesn't matter if we leave that out. And we're going to have a go at answering true and false statements. Okay, let's begin then. So we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. Do you remember? Lila wanted to know that last thing, didn't she, about trying to be a firework maker, but her father wouldn't tell her. So Tulach said, well, I'll ask him. And we left it just there. So I'm just going to reread that part first. My father won't tell me the final secret of the firework making, said Lila. I've learned all there is to know now about flyaway powder, thunder grains, and scorpion oil, and spark repellent, and glimmer juice, and salts of shadow. But there's something else I need to know. He won't tell me. Tricky, said Tulach. Shall I ask him for you? If he won't tell me, he certainly won't tell you, said Lila. He won't know he's doing it, said Tulach. You leave it to me. So that evening, after he settled Hamlet down for a night, Tulach called the firework maker's workshop. It lay down a little winding alley full of crackling smells and pungent noises. Now, pungent Pungent is normally a word used to describe smells. I would say that, and it's usually to describe quite strong smells. So they're using the word pungent there to describe the noises would make me think there's lots and lots of different happening there. Quite interesting sounds. Between fried prawn stalls and the batik painters, he found Lachlan in the courtyard, under the warm stars, red glow. "Hello, Chulack," said Lachlan. "I hear the white elephant's going to be presented to Lord Parakeet tomorrow. How long do you think his money's going to last?" "Oh, a week, I reckon," said Chulack, "though you never know. He might run away before then. I've nearly got enough to get us to India. I thought I might take up firework making when we got there." "Nice trade." "Nice trade, my foot," said Lachlan. "Firework making is a sacred art." Now, sacred means it's really special. It's really hard to get into. It's something that people find to be quite interesting, quite mythical. They don't quite know about it. It's very important. You need talent and dedication and the favour of the gods before you can become a firework maker. And the only thing you're dedicated to is idleness, you scamp. Now, scamp, when you call somebody a scamp, it's a bit of an endearing term. Means you're a little bit naughty. "How did you become a firework maker then?" "I was apprenticed to my father, and then I had to be tested to see whether I had the 3 gifts." "Oh, the 3 gifts, eh?" Said Chulack, who had no idea what the 3 gifts were. Probably Lila did, he thought. "And did you have them?" "Of course I did." "Ah, that's it. Sounds easy. Yeah. I bet I could pass that test. I've got lots more than 3 gifts." Said Lachlan. "That's not all." Then came the most difficult and dangerous part of the whole apprenticeship. Every firework maker, and he lowered his voice and he looked around to make sure no one was listening. Every firework maker has to travel to the grotto of Razafani, the firework fiend, in the Mount of Merapi. The exchange of 3 gifts for some of the royal sulphur. Without that, no one can ever be a true firework maker. Said Chulack. Royal sulphur. Mount Merapi. That's the volcano, isn't it? Yes, you pestilent. Oh, yes, you pestilential boy. And already I've told you far more than I should. This is a secret, you understand. Of course, said Chulack, looking solemn. I can keep a secret. And Lachlan had the uneasy feeling that he'd been tricked, though he couldn't imagine why. We know why, don't we?